Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how I made this Halloween card and this coordinating cat treat. So you can see there's a little treat inside. It's pretty simple but adorable, and it stands up by itself on the table, so make a great favor for Halloween or something like that. So the products we're using today are from the Spooky Night Suite in the holiday catalog. You can see these products on page 52 and 53 of the catalog. Today we're going to use the Spooky Cat stamp set, the Cat Punch, and the Spooky Night Designer Series paper. We are going to start with our pumpkin pie cardstock. It was 5.5 by 8.5, and I went ahead and already scored it at 4 1/4. And then the next layer is our basic black cardstock. It was 4 by 5 1/4, and I embossed it with the Garden Trellis folder. So then this is that folder. This is alright, so then you can just use your fast fuse or your snail and just glue that down flat onto the card. Just like that. Oh, that's not quite straight. There we go. Alright, next is this strip here across the middle. So that is a strip of Very Vanilla cardstock. This measures 1 1/8 by 4 inches. And a strip of Spooky Night DSP that measures 1 inch by 4 inches. So you'll just glue the DSP flat onto the Very Vanilla. Just like that. And then glue this strip down flat onto the card. Just like that. What I love about this designer series paper is not only is it great for Halloween in general, but Stampin' Up! Has done such a great job of making it coordinate with so many other products. So you can see in the DSP here, there is a sheet that's full of cats. You can actually punch those cats out. So this is what the paper looks like. You can see I've already punched out some cats. And so you just line up your punch and punch them out, and so that's where I've got the cat from for our card, is from the DSP. And then there's also a sheet of pumpkins in there, and just a page or two ahead in the holiday catalog, a page ahead on page 51, there are the patterned pumpkin Thinlit dies, and these couple open ones here will cut out the DSP. So I just think that that's really great. And then there's one other sheet in the paper, so you can just see kind of the corner of it right here with the tree and the moon. So it's actually a full sheet of 3 by 3 squares. So this one's already been cut down to 3 by 3, but goes that way. And so it's made perfectly. You could put, I've seen people put the cat on there, the black cat, but I did a swap where I added the owl. And so I am super impressed with how many different ways there are to coordinate that paper with other products we offer. And then this is just a card I showed earlier on my blog earlier this week with a different way to use the cat punch. So I just kind of moved his head around for that one. All right, so let's get back to our card. So the next is going to be that oval. So to do this oval here, I used Stitch Shapes and Very Vanilla cardstock, and I cut out oval number 3. I love the Stitch Shapes because they just give you that stitched look all the way around the edge. So oval number 3, I have marked my framelits. So I go from smallest to largest, and they just have little dots, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I used number 3 to make the Very Vanilla oval. And I layered it using the Layering Ovals framelits. So this is scalloped oval number 5. And so you can see on I haven't done the straight ovals because I usually use the Stitch Shapes, but my scalloped ovals have the same. So let's see, there's 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, and 6 up there. So it just goes from smallest to largest, and that way I can remember which ones I've used, and it helps my classes run a little bit smoother. So these are just going to go flat on top of each other. Alright, and then we are just gonna glue the hat flat down onto the oval as well. So just like that. And for his little hat, there is a sheet in the Designer Series paper that is just full of hats. And so I found one that I liked, and I cut it out. So I went ahead and pre-did that for us because you don't want to watch me fussy cut a hat. That's not fun. And then the hat is kind of small, so I'm going to use my Tombow to glue that down. The snail would, or the fast fuse would hold it fine, but I don't like to use the fast fuse on small things. Alright, there we go. So our oval is popped up with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Just gonna do 3. Then 1, 2, 3. I'll just put him here, center him the best I can, and there we go. Now the only thing left is our greeting. The Halloween portion of our greeting is actually also Designer Series paper. So one of the sheets has all these words all over it, and so I just found a Halloween that I liked and used my paper snips and cut it out. So I just followed real close to the words, right along the edges of them. Like that. And I'll just even up these ones. Just like that. So we'll just set that there for a moment. And so for the happy part, that's actually from the stamp set. There is a stamp in it that says Happy Halloween. And so I've got it here on my D block. That's not D, G. I can't see. But it's a G. But I just want the happy portion, not the Halloween. And so I am going to use my favorite office supply, a Post-it note, and just cover up the Halloween like that. And on this small block, it's nice because I can just wrap it around and I can actually hold it in place. And so I'm going to use my basic black archival stamp pad and just ink it up real good. You can see my Post-it note is all black, but that's okay because we're just going to throw it away. And then I have a teeny tiny piece of Very Vanilla cardstock. It measures 1/2 inch by 1 1/4 inches. And this is a photopolymer stamp, so I want to use my piercing mat to give me some cushion. And then I'm just going to go ahead and center it on my Very Vanilla. There we go, we've got our happy stamped. I'm just going to use my paper snips and turn them into little banners on both ends. So snip in the middle and then bring the ends up to your middle point. Okay, to the other side. Oh, I squeezed those a little too tight. That's There we go. All right, so I have my happy and my Halloween. And I am just going to use a little bit of Tombow to glue them both down. Just like that. And just like that. And there we go. We've made the card. Okay, so I also wanted to show you how I made this little cat treat here. And so I have one cat that I've punched out from the Designer Series paper, just like on the card. And then to do the back side, because you can't just, if you turn the paper around, then it's going to be polka dotted on the back, and I wanted it to be solid and matched. So I'm going to do the other one from some pumpkin pie cardstock. Just like that. So now I have my two cats. And then I have a strip of pumpkin pie that measures 1 by 3 1/2, and I have scored it at 1/2 inch, 1 1/2, and 2 1/2. And so I'm just going to crease these folds and make a little triangle. I use some tear and tape to hold my triangle shut. So there we go. And then my little Hershey Kiss will just fit right in there. To fudge it a little bit, but it fits in there pretty easy. So there's that. And then I just took a couple pieces of tear and tape and stuck them on the sides of my triangle. And one on the back of my cat, on the back of his head, just like that. So then I can start taking these off. I can take that off, glue the cat on there, and then take this piece off, and take that piece off. And take my solid orange cat that I can line up. So I'm going to line up their ears first and just go ahead and press that together because we have that tear and tape on the back of the first cat's head. And there's that. And so to get the tails to line up the way I wanted, I just took a little bit of Tombow and put just a dot there. Whoa, that's a big dot. On the tip of the tail. squeeze them together. My dot was way too big, so I have a lot of adhesive there. But there's that. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.